This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Day or night, VerboCare is here 24/7 to help make every part of your stay seamless. If anything comes up, or you simply need a little guidance, support is ready whenever you reach out. From the moment you book to the moment you head home, we're here to help things run smoothly. Because a great trip starts with the right support. And hey, a good playlist doesn't hurt either.
Today on Very Delta, we talk about iced tea with no ice. We also talk to the legendary Jazzmun, and we sit down and answer a few questions about dating, and we also find out why this time in our lives might be the perfect time for us.
Oh.
Mom! Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be Very Delta. Hi there, I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. This is a podcast where I look gorgeous, I speak extemporaneously, and I invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and tell me stuff. Very Delta for the woman who likes two handles, not one strap on her purse. Hello, my gorgeous listeners and spectators. Welcome back to another episode of Very Delta. And we have a very special guest coming on today, but we need to cover some things that are very Delta. You know, the beauty industry has changed a lot over the last few years, and some of my favorite beauty products just don't exist anymore. Like, I absolutely love lipstick. I cannot get enough lipstick. I could essentially put my eye makeup on one of two ways, and I essentially will kind of shape my eyebrows for a bigger eyelash, or I will just use my own eyebrow and then I'll use a smaller eyelash. So the same theory is usually always there. It's just a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. But lipstick is like kind of where I spend my money. And what I mean by that is like I have a million different lipsticks. A lot of them are kind of the same color, but I still have to buy them because I love them so much. My like number one favorite lipstick that I love to wear is usually Chatterbox by MAC. I love it because it's like pinky and natural and a little orangey and fleshy. I love that. But back in the day, I used to love to wear a color called Icy Champagne Beige by La Femme. And if you know La Femme products, they are like a leader in the beauty industry for so many years. I, in fact, still use this like refillable eyeshadow palette, and I just pop in the refill pans from La Femme. And the La Femme factory is not far from my home, so I'll just make a trip there like once a year, buy my shadows. But they used to sell maybe they still have the lipsticks. I don't know. I stopped using them when I started using a little bit better quality ones. And not that they were so much better in quality. It's just I kind of prefer lipsticks that don't have like a perfume or a taste to them, aside from MAC, which kind of has like a vanilla, which I do like. But Icy Champagne Beige, like in the 90s, I would wear it with this like espresso colored liner. And then it was iridescent champagne, like almost silver in a way. And that was very 90s to like line your lip with like a currant liner or an espresso or a chestnut and then sort of blend it all in together. My friend Jessica Rigosa, when we were in beauty school together, I remember she always wore Icy Champagne Beige with that liner and she was gorgeous. So for years I wore that. And I think about looking for it. Like I said, I think they might still sell it. I just don't buy it. Maybe I should have it make a return. It was really like thin brow, that kind of lip, kind of a Pamela Anderson in a way. Sort of a Pamela Anderson look was really popular then. But there are other products that I miss so much. I don't know if anybody remembers Gap Scents, but Gap Scents were really popular in the 90s. Little tiny travel-sized tins or containers that looked like aluminum sprayers, I guess you would call them. And I used to wear a scent called Grass. And I miss that so much. They had like Grass, Sky, maybe I think it was called Sky, Earth. I miss all of those. Those were so popular. And I think they still have them again, but they're not exactly the same the way that they were. Maybe just my tastes have changed. I don't think my tastes have changed because I like them all. I mean, I like here at my desk, I have like a Givenchy perfume, another Givenchy perfume, a Dior perfume. Oh no, this is Yves Saint Laurent. I mean, I like expensive perfume, but I also like body sprays. Like I like them all. It's like you get I get a feeling. They each sort of evoke a certain feeling. I definitely like wearing a huskier fragrance, as they would call it, something stronger. And, I've often worn fragrances that are marketed towards quote unquote women. And people will say, oh, that just smells like Old Spice because it's so spicy or it's so reminds them of like an old lady, I guess. And I like that. I am inspired by so many different women. Certainly the women that we've had on here on Very Delta, and many of them have different signature scents, and so it does inspire me, and it makes me feel good to have all those perfumes. I am super excited about the Barbie movie. I haven't been excited about a movie like this for a while, just because it's like it's so childlike. I never collected Barbies. I never even had Barbies as a kid. As an adult now, I do have some dolls. I think the first doll I ever really was concerned about having was the RuPaul Barbie, and I do have a couple of RuPaul dolls still intact. But also like I have X-Files dolls, so Gillian Anderson, David Duchovny dolls. I never really collected so many dolls. I mean, maybe I have about 10. I bet they're boxed up. My drag daughter, Ozma, collects Barbies and knows all about Barbies. She loves them to death. She knows the names and the years and all of that. So maybe the two of us will have to go see this movie together. I'm super excited about it. I posted a meme that said, I apologize for the person I'm going to be after seeing the Barbie movie because, it's live action. So, in that I am a little bit concerned because, we have in our mind sort of the archetype of who's supposed to play Barbie or who's supposed to look like Barbie or Ken. And I don't think that I particularly knew, other than I always felt like the, quintessential blonde bombshell from my time was like Anna Nicole or Pamela Anderson or Dolly Parton. I don't know that those are necessarily perfect fits to play Barbie. I was never really that interested in Ken. I never thought Ken was like cool or sexy. I did Skipper was, poor Skipper. She was ugly. And little Midge. Ugh, so sad. Nobody's Barbie. I hope the actress playing Barbie really lives up to it. But as I said, everyone has their own preference for a certain type of Barbie. I was thinking about, as I think about Barbie, the scene that I saw was Barbie on the beach. And this time of year is when I really start to like switch it up a little bit. Like it's Pride season, so I travel a lot all throughout the summer, and I get a bit dehydrated, like if I'm drinking Diet Coke constantly. So the summertime is when I really decide I need to drink more iced tea. I'm going to make sun tea. Wherever I go, I'm having iced tea. And in doing that, I always feel like that one little sip, like I'll sit down and I'll drink like unsweetened iced tea. And I'm like, gosh, I'm doing something so great for my body. I'm so into health right now. And for what reason? I don't know. But like the summertime reminds me of sun tea. And that's really what I'm drinking right now. It's like my favorite thing. And it makes me think, when I go through a drive-through, why is there not a constant conversation with corporate to management to employee that fresh brewed iced tea is served out of a brewer that's hot? So when you scoop the ice up in the cup and then you put the iced tea on it, the fresh brewed unsweetened iced tea, it's going to melt the ice. So I think we need to have this discussion, and I think my company Deltaco, or some people call it Del Taco, but it's Deltaco. We need to start at the corporate level and then go down to management, down to the employee, and let them know we are no longer standing for a small amount of ice. We need the ice filled to the top because it's going to melt down to halfway. Because nobody wants to drink hot iced tea. I do want fresh brewed. Also, some of these places like to have those machines that are like 100 different drinks in one. And they offer, I don't even know what company, Fuse tea, like Fuse unsweetened. But then their menu also says we also have fresh brewed iced tea. So sometimes when I drive up, I'm like, hi, can I get a large fresh brewed iced tea with extra ice? And then they just give me like regular ice and Fuse tea. Why do you have fresh brewed does not come out of a Coca-Cola machine. I don't know. I know I'm overthinking it, but I do stand by that. Yeah, I do stand by that. Not just in the summer, all year long. All year long. That's enough pontificating about iced tea. I think I've said enough. It's not going to get fixed. It is what it is. I'm going to drink it. I'm going to continue to buy it. I'm going to continue to complain. That's just the nature of it. I'm very excited because today we have an extra special guest right here at Very Delta. I'm so excited to welcome the beautiful Jazzmun, a legend in entertainment. But for now, let's take a break. And we're back. Thank you so much for coming back. Today, I have a very extra special guest. You know, when we decided to do this show, I had a wish list of people. This person should have been invited to the audio podcast day one, because this is someone who really set the standard for everything that Raja and I talk about weekly. And I'm so excited to bring to the Very Delta show the one and only Jazzmun.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so grateful you're here. I mean, when I say that, I really, really mean it. Raja and I started the Very That podcast really with not any particular goal other than just talking about the 90s and talking about the things that where we learned to do drag and who we watched. And we really have said before on the podcast a zillion times, and we say it in conversation, and your name just comes up as a reference point to elements of beauty and elements of power. And I really, we always say, oh, that's very Jazzmun. That's Jazzmun. And even to the point where we will reference something we can get into later, the term and the name, the entity of Blacktress. You know, I first saw you at Peanuts. And I can remember, and this is probably 1997 maybe, and I can remember not understanding. It was my first time at Peanuts. I couldn't understand. It was like my first time seeing RuPaul was the first person I had seen, and then, you know, on TV. But then in person, I thought, how is this possible? What is a wig? How are these shoes? How is this person walking in these shoes? And I remember there were some signature elements that you would wear. You always had on black fishnets.
Yes.
You always wore the platform, the stripper platform as we called it, which is not a stripper platform.
Yes.
But those days were drag that I wish people now had the chance to see. Do you remember the magic of the Peanuts days, Mondays and Fridays?
I do. Club 7969. Beautiful memories, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity. Viva is the one that introduced me to Peanuts. And when I first walked in there, this was years before that, I was just like, wow, this is like my home, my new home. I felt it welcome me and invite me in, and I stayed there for years. Like, I danced, and it gave me life. Like, I was just reminded over the weekend, someone remembers seeing me at a Sugar Ray Leonard birthday party where I came down the rope and I had on thigh-high boots, and that was my signature look, was fishnets, thigh-high, and a G-string.
Yeah, yeah. And no one was doing that. No one was doing that. No one, I don't think, has ever done it better.
Oh, thank you.
And because it has to do with how you sell something.
Yeah.
And you, even to this day, you still embody all of that, and you still encourage all of that in people.
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
You encourage that in every person that walks this earth.
I love that. And I'm grateful for that gift. It was interesting when I was in it, when I was doing it daily, it was survival, right? It was necessary. I needed to do it in order to maintain a certain, way of living. But from time and some time away from that, I exhale, because I don't have to engage the same way I did, and it doesn't work. It doesn't conflict with my self-worth. Because it was very demanding, like to go out there week after week and need to come up with something new. You felt very competitive because a lot of the girls I was working with had body augmentation,
Sure.
facial feminization, whatever that looked like, and I was working bare bone. I had to build out and create. So, it had its challenges, but I was so gratified with the time and the moment because of the music, the type of entertainment that was out at that time. I was obsessed with Janet Jackson and the Grace Joneses, and I just loved all that energy. So it was my moment. It was my time to shine, as they would say.
I feel like when you say that about, seeing the people that had body augmentation and trying to keep up, there's something that Raja and I always talk about, and that is this place. It was a space that you created before we were having social media discussions about it.
Yes.
And it was a place where you can exist
Yes.
Between doing drag and recognizing your actual femininity.
Yes.
And it was a discussion that wasn't taking place, as I said, in social media because we didn't have it.
Right.
But it was a way of your living that set an example to us that we could understand our duality.
Yes.
We could appreciate it. We didn't have to make an apology for it. If we felt like wearing a blouse, as they say, during the day, then we wore it.
Yeah.
If we didn't feel like wearing it, we didn't wear it. If we felt like wearing fragrance marketed for a male persona, then we wore it. This is something that you've always been on the forefront of.
Yeah.
And I don't think people quite... And I can't fault them for not understanding because they weren't alive when it was happening.
Yeah.
But we were, and you created that space for us, and you created this archetype of, there's terms that we don't that people are not comfortable with us using, and maybe we should have never used.
Which are?
Well, like when people use the term tranny.
See, yeah, I never had a problem with.
It's a different time.
Yes, a different time. I never allow the words to be weaponized on me, right?
You never did.
Because I got called everything. Like you ain't a transsexual or something. But I always embodied all of that.
Right.
And so it was like no one gets to define who I am. I'm not doing anything that's gonna please somebody else. If it doesn't please me, I'm not doing it. That was my whole thing. So I didn't do a lot of things. And I still haven't done a lot of things. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. And I love where drag has gone, because at the time that I was working, nobody wanted to hire a queen, and they wanted to give you $50. Right. And I was like, and we thought that was heaven. And I was like, something's got to give. I was like, you got to give me more money, and you got to find the appreciation in the art. And if they couldn't, somebody would.
Right.
Thank God for Colin Conway. He would always hire me, and he reminded me of my worth and who I was. Like, he made it magical for me. So it was okay for me to come back to the club and still, reign supreme in my own mind, like still perform, still shine in the way I needed to shine, because you can only go, like this for so long. You need some dips in that high and low. Like, it needs to it needs to come up or be revealed in a different way to you, because otherwise it can become stagnant. Um, it can become you can get lost in the fantasy of the illusion.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Yeah.
something that you always did because you were releasing music, producing, releasing music, live performing your own tracks before anyone was really doing it in LA as far as drag entertainers. You had your own shows that you were producing, like Five the Show.
Yes.
We're talking about television appearances, movie appearances. I mean, people can just go on YouTube and pull this stuff up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple couple of keystrokes. You've been in everything. You've been in everything before anyone had the platform of Drag Race.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Including working with RuPaul,
Yes.
of course.
Yes. I think me and Candace were the first.
The very first two
to work.
entertainers.
Yeah. And that was a gift. Like, Ru actually found me in Peanuts. Like,
Yeah.
and then, we developed a relationship, and he would come to some of the plays I was co-producing or whatever it was. He would show up and support. So I was very grateful for that. But yeah, I had so much experience though prior to. I worked at La Cage Fall.
Of course.
So I was able to work at a level and see a group, people that was just like, these are ultimate movie stars and superstars. The Lana Turners, the Milton Berle, Sammy Davis Jr., Paul Abdul, like everybody. Grace Jones came to see me in the show. So it was like I had that platform to work from, but it was just a different breed in the nightclubs, because at that time I didn't think they didn't see the necessity of having us there fully.
Right.
Like they had us there, but they didn't really understand our power and the magic that we brought, and that they were more concerned like how many people are coming through the door.
Right.
And it wasn't really about that at the end of the day, but no one knew that until a show like Drag Race comes on. And now every club, like I was in West Hollywood, has a drag show. And that makes me so happy. I mean, some people say, oh, it's overkill. But I'm like, no, people are employed. People get to entertain. People are enjoying it. That's what it's about. Like, I understood the art of entertainment. And I still do. And that's why I have the greatest appreciation for the show and the platform that is given. Even you get to sit here with your own show.
Right.
How powerful is that?
Right.
And I do believe we need to be visible. We need to be seen. We need to be heard. And we need to be appreciated.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And what you do now is, I feel like you've always sort of laid the groundwork for where you were going next, whether you did it intentionally or not.
I had no clue what I was going to do next.
Really?
I was fully guided and supported in love. And I believe in Earth Angels. And I believe Spirit was motivated and moving and speaking through people that really innately, intuitively cared about me. And so I had my challenges, working in the clubs. Like, I got caught up in, some of the shenanigans that take place, in the nightlife. And I needed love and support. I needed some guidance. And I got it, right? And so I went to school. I, got myself a little certificate in psychology and human services. And one thing led to the next. And so, now I'm the associate director at a nonprofit. And I absolutely love what I do because I'm still community driven.
Right.
I still get to work with my community and the community I care about that's given me so much, that has, transformed my life. I get that opportunity to do for others. And it's completely gratifying. It's work, but it's completely gratifying.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. That is so important.
Yeah.
And you, you know what? Before we get into that, I think we should take a little break.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And then we'll just come back to that.
Yes.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. And we are back with our extra special guest, the one and only Jazzmun.
Thank you.
We were talking about, you have always been community driven. You have always been concerned about other people. How does that take a play into your music? Because I personally remember you performing Too Tired to Be Shady.
Oh, yes.
And that was one of my favorite songs because there's a big intro.
Yes.
A big intro. And I can remember a line, like a bird, I gotta fly. Fly, fly, fly. Bye, bye, bye.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, I love that line. I love that line because we are like birds.
Yeah. And I write songs that, at first, I love writing songs. I love writing music that speaks to me. I love listening to music. I love music. And when I got the opportunity, I did that particular cut with Travis Payne, who at the time was, he was working with Brandy.
Okay.
And Michael Jackson, wasn't even doing anything. But for some reason, I kept thinking, you're going to work with Michael Jackson because he danced with Michael Jackson for years. I was like, I think you're going to work with Michael Jackson again. I think he's going to do something. And sure enough, when it was time to do that show he was supposed to do, Travis was a choreographer.
Wow.
And so, but Travis has always been doing great work. Like he's worked with everybody, Whitney, Madonna. And the fact that he wanted to work with me and I got to go over his house and we got to play and just like brainstorm, it was magical. And I was, going through my own transition at that time, my own personal life transition. And that song just spoke to me. I was just like, I'm so over everybody being shady. That's what it was coming to. But I was like, my music, to me, I call it dream pop music because that's what the kids call it. So I was like, yeah, it is dreamy because it's dreamy and it's pop. But like,
I like that.
It's about, I want to be inspiring. Like I'm about my purpose is peace and joy and fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe, that I want to always remain curious about being playful. And that's what the music is for me. It's just, another form of expression that I get to, be in my element, be playful and have fun and still have a message in my music.
Right.
I just did a video to one of my songs called Make Me Over. And I was totally inspired to do it because this young trans man I know named Destin, he shot another video for me. But I was like, I didn't get a chance to have a moment to share this song with anybody. And I believe it's necessary at this time. I think with all the changing in the world and the changing of the guards and, the way the world is shifting, like people just need to remember like, they are enough. Right. That they are perfect, whole, and complete exactly where they are. Like, we don't need to do nothing. Like, we don't need to do nothing. We just need to be present in our own bodies, in our own, in our own ways of living and be open and receptive and kind.
Right.
Right. And gentle. Like, my saying, and this is something that was told to me a long time ago, be gentle with yourself. So you can learn and practice to be gentle with others. Because if you're beating yourself up and you're harming yourself and how are you gonna, what does the RuPaul say? How are you gonna love somebody if you can't love yourself? It's honestly like maybe you don't know what love is, right? Maybe you, as a child you never felt it, and that's okay, right? But now you can practice. You can find ways of caring and loving for caring and finding affection for yourself, and you don't necessarily are going to find it in another person. You might only find it in yourself, and that's okay. Because sometimes we're always looking outside ourselves to get what we think we need, but it's never outside ourselves. It's like I was talking to somebody about those wands. You know how every guild, the Good Witch has a wand.
Yeah.
What is his name? Harry Potter has a wand. Everybody has a wand, right? Witch, every witch has a wand or somebody. But the truth of the matter is they're just giving you what you already have. They're not giving you anything outside of yourself.
I see.
They're just reminding you already had it. Like the shoes or, when whatever they're doing, it's already within you. It's just you got to remember oh, there it is. My innocence. It's like returning to innocence, that childlike wonder and amazement.
Right.
But it's a practice, right? Because we get caught up in day-to-day life. Like we're just, about got to pay bills, got to, but that's an illusion. All that's an illusion because ultimately that's going to be taken care of. But who are you at the end of the day?
And we see that on social media when people will post pictures of things and, even in the idea of taking a picture and cropping it and putting a filter on it just to sort of, and I do it. I get caught up in doing that too because, I'm trying to market myself or whatever. But when you do that, it presents to somebody that whatever was happening there was even better than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they go, oh, it must have been amazing. And you're oftentimes, even if you do have gratitude, there's ones that you're trying to clean up so that everybody thinks every time it was great.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not great every time.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's okay. Especially where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially where we are right now. We only have each other.
Yep.
And it's a frightening time.
Yeah.
It's been frightening forever. We live in a country that obviously is, was born of greed and fear. The greed of the rich and the fear of those who aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like now more than ever, I never thought that this is where we would be.
Mm-hmm.
But
We're in a perfect place, actually, though.
are we? Tell me.
Actually, we're in a perfect place because this is where we really get to lean in and lean on.
Okay.
And take accountability and responsibility for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And learn how to collaborate and show up and show out.
Mm-hmm.
I love it all. I think it's so important. Like, there was no social media when
Right.
Well,
There just wasn't for us.
So, I don't know if I'm not that great at it now, but I'm fascinated with it.
Oh, it's great. It's fun.
I love it. And so, I especially love, is it TikTok?
Oh, I love it. I can watch it all day
you know what I'm
long.
saying? But it just reminds me, there's so much beauty, so much talent, and so much mystery and magic and wonder in the universe. And we get to pick and choose what we want to
Let in.
That's why one of my spiritual leaders always says, put guards at the gate of your mind. Everything
Okay.
is not welcome.
Okay.
Everything is not welcome in. Not everyone gets a place at the table. Not all the sound bites. Not everyone gets to come in.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because what happens is that there's so much information. We have so much information. Before that, people, are saying, "Oh, it's gotten worse." No, it's just televised. It's just we get to see it.
Oh,
now.
that makes so much sense. Because, I was thinking that when we were talking about the things that have transpired with the Supreme Court and people saying, oh, can you believe how this world is getting? We've been seeing this. Other people have been experiencing this for their whole lives. Now it's just met up to these gates where you're going, oh, it's affecting me now.
Mhm.
It's affecting me. Well, what about the people that it's always affected?
Mhm.
Because it's always affected other people. Now it's just starting to hurt you because you're like, oh, well, that's touching my toe now. It bothers me.
And also, their children are very well knowledgeable and equipped with information. And so that's why people want to not talk about, we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to discuss this, but it's necessary. Everything that you're trying to block needs to be talked about. And even when you're in the process of blocking it, people are still rolling out more information about it. So it's like, there's no need to hide. Just put it all out on the table. Let's just do it. Let's get real. And it's going to be messy. Healing is messy sometimes.
Oh,
It's
that makes
not
sense.
always comfortable, right? It's full of strife and struggle sometimes. But you can get to another side. You can't unknow what you know. We're never going
Wow.
back. We're never
Yeah.
going back to anything.
Yeah.
You cannot unknow what you know. So now that you're armed with information, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to allow it to not only serve yourself but serve everyone that comes into your realm?
Mhm.
Who are you in this process? That's a question I have to ask myself. What am I willing to do today? To be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And that to me is the beauty of drag. It's what Ruth said, everybody's in drag.
Right.
I'm in, happy Pride, happy, Revolutionary Day, because today, the 28th is when they actually did the whole Stonewall riot, right?
Right.
And it's like who am I? Right?
Mhm.
I'm feeling very, revolutionary or very grounded, but tomorrow I might need to be in some 5-inch stilettos. And
Right.
a negligee. Yeah.
Well, and it's great. It's true what you say, and Rue does say that all the time. But it's true what you say because even when I get ready, sometimes I'll be combing a wig and I'll say, "Oh, this reminds me of a 50s housewife." And I love looking at Victorian homes and craftsman homes. And sometimes I'm like, that's how I want to dress right now. That's how I feel it. And then another time, sometimes I talk about how certain songs will give me a certain mood.
Yes.
And there is someone that I've never seen you perform this song before, but my favorite Diana Ross song is Love Hangover.
I love that song.
And I love that long version.
Yes.
And whenever somebody, like, I'll be talking about the song and I'll say, oh, I'm gonna perform something, maybe that song.
Yeah.
I never think, oh, what did they wear in the video? I always think, I see Diana Ross I see her in a, like, something just breezy.
Yes.
And I see no shoes.
Yes.
And I see an orchid here and the hair is this way.
Yes.
It's the mood that you
Yes.
feel. You want to evoke that mood.
Yes.
Because that's the part of you in that moment.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not sexual, maybe it's sensual.
Yes.
Or maybe it's raw, or maybe
Yes.
and I keep going back to this, but I really, really mean this. When I was coming up in drag and I was watching you and I would see Jazzmun is a celebrity impersonator. Jazzmun is also a dancer. Jazzmun is also a singer. Jazzmun is also a comedian. Jazzmun is also a host. You can be all those things.
Yes.
And you can find out which ones you excel at
Yes.
through drag. And you can also be somebody who identifies, whether you identify as trans or you identify as a drag queen, you can do drag,
Yes.
but identify in another way.
Exactly.
Or you can say, I identify a lot of ways.
Yes.
And
I own, and I honor all my identities.
all of it.
All of them. All of them. And
All of it.
Even I really but it took time for me to really comprehend that. But I was like, wait, you can be and do all of it. And the clubs are a great way to exercise and explore various different aspects of your drag,
Right.
because it's your stage, right, and it's your persona. So you get to bring the new song and the new experience to the audience.
Right.
Because some of the songs I've never heard, but until I see the drag artist perform it, I'm like, oh my God, I love this song.
Right.
It's through your performance. I don't even care about the artist.
Right.
I only care about this song because the way you present it to me.
And it's like your 4 or 5 moments to say, if you're a lip sync artist,
Yes.
I'm giving you the video the way I see it.
Yes.
My
interpretation.
My interpretation.
Yeah.
And that's what we used to get to see and going back to when you, I want to take a break, but going back to what you said about, you would have like the thigh-high boots, the certain look or whatever. The beauty of the drag, especially at that time, was you were presenting a mood.
Yes.
And the performance of the lyrics and the facial expressions and the way that you felt in that moment, that is the artistry. And if somebody can sell you that in a standard sort of look, and even if you tweaked it a little bit, I remember you used to do Superwoman, and you would wear some of those things, but you would tweak it just a little bit. And this shirt would open and it would be the Superman there. And it was an effective enough thing where it was just revealing that. I could talk about. Let's take a quick break. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna take a quick break. And we are back. We're back with my extra special guest, an inspiration, not just in drag performance, but in truly being who you are without labels. Especially from a time when we didn't have these discussions. We didn't have a way to have these discussions. Jazzmun. The beautiful Jazzmun is here with us. And we this is a portion of the podcast that we call the Annals of the Inbox, but one time an N was left off, so then it became the Annals.
I love it.
Why not? Why not? People send letters.
Okay.
And I recently got a new computer.
Nice.
So these have been printed out for us and then put into these envelopes so it looks a little more like someone sent me a personal letter.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I need to get myself.
I love personal letters
I do
too.
too. And so they sent these to us to answer.
Okay.
I'm going to read this. Let's see. Oh, it looks like a long one. Okay. Hi, Delta and Jazzmun. I'm a 36-year-old single gay man living in New York City. I've been single for a long time because I was on the road with Broadway shows for nearly 10 years.
Beautiful.
A few months ago, I met someone at the gym and took a chance on him, even though he's about 8 years younger than me. We hung out quite a few times, and I can't stop thinking about him. His demeanor is lovely, he is super smart, and exactly what I'm looking for physically in a partner. However, he told me a while back that he's not ready for a relationship yet, mostly because he's still working on himself and recognizes that he was not good to his last boyfriend, so he wants to fix these things about himself first. We've stopped hanging out. My choice is I don't want to get my heart broken, but I can't stop thinking about him. We still talk from time to time, but I'm not sure if I should hang on for a while or just try to move on. I feel like I'd fall for him if we dated, but I'm not sure if I can take the chance and have him not be ready for a relationship, or if I should just leave the whole thing alone and let the infatuation eventually fade. Thank you for any advice.
Oh, I
That's
love
tough.
that. Actually, it's not. The
It's not?
reality of it is he needs to keep dating.
Uh-huh.
The person specifically said they're emotionally not stable or ready to be in a relationship. But he can still hold on. I mean, he can still, have conversation and coffee. And I mean, sometimes I feel like people overthink things. Like we all overthink, like, okay, it's either all or nothing. But
Okay.
it's really not all or nothing. I mean, nobody does that, right? Like,
Right.
you got to give people a chance to inhale, exhale, right? I think he needs to continue dating other people. So, to exercise that muscle. You don't have to sleep with everyone you're dating. So it could be a coffee date. It could be a date to the movie. It could, just
Right.
so you're not putting so much burden or restriction on this other person, and then they're not fulfilling because I don't know why people think they're going to be different with you than they were with the last person.
Right.
If they have not done their work on themselves, you're getting the same version. You're
Right.
not getting anything different. So
Right.
it's just a matter of time before they do whatever they did to their last person to you. And if if you know too much about the last person, that's not a good thing either. Because
Mhm.
this is a new relationship. I'm not that person.
Right.
Right? But if they're telling you I'm not ready, hey, listen to what they're saying. They're not
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. I think too, sometimes people, they look at landmark birthdays or years and they go, by this time I should
Oh,
have this
yeah.
done.
You're right.
And this person said, it's
36?
yeah, I should be well. And I'm not saying that they said that, but I know that people do operate by that calendar. That I'm not going to be happy if this isn't done by this time, and we can't do that.
Yeah. Where is the element of surprise?
Right.
Where's the hope? Right? Like, even in the relationship, it takes on different forms, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to rekindle that, right? But what he kept saying is that he told me he's not ready. He was no good in his last relationship. Like, he's giving you all the signs,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's like, okay, what is it that I really want from this person?
Yeah.
Is it just a physical thing? Because if it's just sex, then let it be sex, right? But if you're desiring more, you have to, have that conversation. But if they tell you not ready for that, then you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, because just as you said, I mean, you laid out all the reasons why they don't want to do this. It's like when people say, "I can't believe Donald Trump did this and this and this when he was president."
Yeah.
He gave you every reason to not vote for him, didn't he? He told you this is what I'm doing right now at the rallies.
Yes.
Why are you going to vote for me?
Okay.
I mean, come on now.
I'm not changing.
I'm not going to. Okay, so we have another letter.
Okay. But I do wish him well, and I hope that he pursues, him and others.
Well, and as you said too, I mean, relationships, and also like just in life in general, when you were talking about the things that happen in the nightclub life and what we get caught up in at different ages, and then what we realize, oh, that wasn't really feeding me the way it needed to. Our life is never this way.
No.
She goes this way, and then we stop and we come back. We might go back over there, but maybe we're over here, and maybe we find, and the relationship's that way too.
Yes.
It ebbs and flows, and then it becomes something. And as you said, you don't have to have sex with every single person that you date.
No.
You can go have coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. This letter's from Anastasia Zalana. What a beautiful
That's a
name.
stunning name.
Dear Delta and Jazzmun, how do we explain the lack of a bigger drag queen winner on 20 plus seasons of American RuPaul's Drag Race? Is the show inherently fat phobic?
Wow.
As a bigger doll myself, I'm so sick of not knowing what word to use when referring to myself. When referring to me being fat. I am fat. Call me fat. I am big. I don't care as long as it's an actual word for fat. As American airline hostess referred to me as an American Airlines hostess referred to me as strong.
I love it.
And my mother-in-law said, I am jealous. It's always a well-intentioned attempt to politely avoid saying I'm obese, but it kind of bothers me. Should I correct them? Am I being a Karen? Thank you always, my divas. I mean, I will say that the show, I think if we look for the show to have a winner that's a certain type, then we are saying that don't care about the talent.
Right.
We're only looking for a certain type. It's a piece of entertainment as much as it is. Yes, it definitely provides a platform. I will say there are people that of size that have made it to, the point where they could possibly win. But it's a cat's game. You never know.
Yeah.
The show is definitely, I don't think is graded on. I don't think it's graded on like. You get 5 points, you get 4 points.
Right.
It is a bit graded on a curve because as much as it's the best America's Next Drag Superstar, it's also the best of the 12 people that are here.
Yeah.
So there are other people out there that are not on the show that are amazing at what they
Yes.
do and may never be on that platform.
Yes.
I don't know. I personally have no problem with someone using different terms if they want to call me fat or big. I think it's in your intention.
Yes.
And I don't think that most people are looking to be insulting when they refer to someone's size. And I think you can kind of tell when someone's trying to be insulting. And if they're using those terms as the only way to attack you, they know they have no argument.
Yes.
Because that argument doesn't exist.
Yes.
Telling somebody, oh, you're so fat, or you're so, I hear even for skinny people, I've seen very thin girls sort of be marginalized a bit because people will say, oh, you need to eat a cheeseburger. Look at you're just a bag of bones. And they're perfectly healthy.
Yes.
They just happen to be very thin.
Yes. I mean, there's so many, Miss Latrice Royale.
Yeah.
Stars, bona fide stars. Like, nothing is getting in the way.
Right.
Of, nothing is going to stop a star.
Right.
Like, it's just Lizzo. I just watched Lizzo going to be at BET.
Yeah.
Nothing is preventing her shine.
Nothing.
Is going to block your shine. So my point to her is like, don't let nothing block your shine.
No.
And let this show be a representation on how to shine.
Right. And if you say like Anastasia was saying in the letter, I don't mind if people call me fat. Then that's fine because it is in fact a word that just describes something.
Yes.
But if somebody's coming at you using that as a weapon in a way,
yes,
it's not really a weapon. It means nothing.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I can't believe you have a yellow house.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
But why is someone even calling her that? Why are
they worried?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, but why are they using, those words? Like, that has nothing to do with the tea in China. Like, we're worried about her character.
Right.
What kind of person is she?
Right.
What do you like to do? What do you like to eat?
Right.
Where's the commonality in this?
Right.
Where do you get your nails done? But there's so many other things. Like, that's one characteristic. Like, okay. And the word, why are they going to use the word? I mean, what does that mean? Like, I think we give word meaning.
Uh-huh.
Right? And it can land on you quite hard, especially if you've heard it in different ways that wasn't always pleasing to the ear. It doesn't feel good to be laughed at. It doesn't feel, words do harm. So I honor, I empathize with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I want all of us to remember like who we really are at our core. And we are not here to look like each other. We're not designed.
Oh, that's so true.
We're not, I don't want to look like you. I don't want you looking like me. I need you to be Delta work.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I need to, that's what I need to see today. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see, there's another queen. She is on the show We Are There. We Are Here.
We Are Here. Uh-huh.
I can't think of her name. But you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Fabulous queen. Her outfits are always stunning. I'm always impressed. I don't think of, oh my God, she's great for a big queen. That bitch is fierce. Period.
Right. And see, and that's something, again, going back to to working at Peanuts and being around, at that time, I was never raised around people that said, when our big queen coming to the stage, no one said that. It was only, if we think you're fierce, you will be invited back to work.
Girl, we're not worried about that.
We're not worried about that. And that's when we're talking about going back to House of Face.
Yes.
And we're talking about the cosmetics and all this stuff. There was never a space where people were like, well, who's our Black queen?
Yeah.
Who's our Asian queen? We just knew. And if people included you, they were like, I expect you to be competing. I expect you to be participating here at 100%.
Yes.
Because you are, in fact, one of the models. You're one of the dolls. And that's all we see you as.
Yes.
So when I left and went on to Drag Race with Raja, season 3, I had that in my mind that I thought I only knew to be fierce the way everyone told me I was fierce, because they were like, we're going to raise you around this.
Yes.
And you are going to be instilled to believe that there's nothing that can stop you.
Exactly.
Because you are without boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you move on to social media and you get those boundaries, or people saying, well, you're good for this. And you're like, I don't know what that means. I don't understand that. I don't abide by that.
No, at all.
I can't. Because if I did, I'd be letting down all the people that told me differently.
Yes.
All the people. Jazzmun, Viva, Shelby, anybody that told me differently by the example that they set forward.
And I always thought you were glamorous and sexy and
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Always. Even with the teddy bear, the picture. I even text you, I was like, girl, this is sickening. Remember you had the teddy bear? I was like, that is fabulous.
But that's just where I came from. I came from a place for no excuses. Don't let anybody, and that's what you've always instilled in people. Even to this day, when we look back and I say we make these references and we're like, ooh, that's so Jazzmun. That is so Jazzmun. The smile, the eyes that light up when you perform. Again, maybe we have a uniform that we wear in drag, a certain look that is our standard, and then we build on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't sell it in something that is just, then you're not going to sell it. Mm-hmm. It can't just be about all those extra things.
Yes.
It has to be inside that you're really enjoying what you're doing.
Emote.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is you were my dream guest. Literally also Dream Girl, if you did not know. You were literally in the Dream Girls movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is fierce. So thank you for answering those letters with me. If anybody else wants to write a letter for us to read on the show, send an email to readmedelta@gmail.com. Read me, Delta. I'm not going to read you. We're going to read the letter.
Well, maybe.
I mean, So thank you again for being a guest on the show today. And also, people can follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
What's your...
at Jazzmun and Delta on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, too. Jazzmun and Delta Creighton on Facebook. I think I'm on Twitter. Yeah.
You think you're on Twitter?
Yeah, I think I'm on Twitter. My friend David does all the social media. But yeah, I'm on Twitter too.
It's hard to manage all of them.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
I want to be. I'm going to do something.
They're fun. They are fun to do. They are fun to do. Yeah.
I'm going to do a TikTok.
Yeah, you have to. Thank you so much for listening to Very Delta. And also a special hello to everyone watching the show on the Mom Podcasts YouTube page. Very Delta comes out every Monday right here on the Very That podcast feed and on YouTube. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe to make sure that you do not miss any of these episodes. If you'd like to send me a question, a comment, or any type of communication, email me at readmedelta@gmail.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. I'll see you next week right here where we like to keep things very Delta. To listen to Very Delta one day early and ad-free, sign up for Mom Plus at mompodcasts.plus. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, a.k.a. Mom, hosted by Delta Work and produced by Maxwell Esposito. Engineered by Margot Padilla and editing and sound design by Will Pitts. Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Big Dipper, and Joe Cilio.